please give a warm welcome to the hosts of Alternate Ending.
It's so nice to meet you. I had the pleasure of watching your film today, which I feel so lucky to have gotten to skip the line. But it was, oh man, so emotional and so intimate and very just moving for me. And I don't think I've actually seen a film that was like that. We do a lot of these emotional movies, but not so clean and clear, and just what a journey to go on with this person. So, I did a little research. I saw, did you have 18 crew members? Is that how many people were on your crew?
In terms of crew members and head of departments, it was probably 20, 25. 20, I mean, it's for, according to the itinerary, depending on the sequence that we were going to shoot, we will have a little bit more help or a little bit less. And when we went to Vieques, it was a very small crew because we have to go there and stay there for a week. Yeah. So it depends on the location, the amount of crew members, but it was definitely less than 40 all the time. It was a very small crew.
Yeah. Yes, and there seems like there's a lot of natural lighting going on in this film, not a lot of huge lighting setup, so it's nice to just have an intimate group, right?
Yeah, super intimate. And we had a bubble because of the COVID protocol, so that's also another reason to keep it small, because we had to take care of that, and we want to make sure that we have the resources to conduct a proper protocol. And if you have more people, then it's kind of difficult because we have limited resources. So,
absolutely.
But yes, that's another reason, the protocol for COVID.
Yes, to keep it small for sure.
Yes.
Time to be shooting, with all that going on.
Yes.
That's like a little wrench in the process, but I think we managed it really well.
Yeah.
Very cool. Had you two worked together prior to this project?
No, but we knew each other, and I knew of her work, and she knew of my work. Yeah. And I admire her a lot.
I admire her too.
Yeah. She's a really smart artist, and very engaged, and that gave me, that calmed me, too.
And this is a different role for you than usual, right? You're a professor. You teach theater, and
yes,
then you're
do.
also, now this is such a dramatic role compared to the comedy that you usually do. How did you land in this place, I wonder?
Well, I've done many things, but people mostly know me for my comedy work because that's what's out there mostly. But I'm an actress, you want to be able to do everything. And I really enjoyed the story too, and the imagery, and it's close to my heart because part of my extended family is from Vieques, and I know those stories from way back, from the 50s, and I've heard it so much, and I directed a play called Vieques once that talked about that whole situation. So, and I remember being at NYU at some point also talking about it, and to be there making a film there was like,
known about this
yes.
So did you know about, I just stated that, but when did you actually hear about this initially? Because I had very little idea that this was going on, that this had happened. And that's another really important reason for this film to be made, right? Is just educating people. They have no idea. I had no idea. So thank you for bringing it to people's attention. But when did that become a part of your knowledge about your country?
It's common knowledge in the island, but also during the protests to take the Marina out, it was a huge movement. Not just in the island, but outside of it. I remember in 2001, people asking me about that.
Oh wow!
People that never heard about Puerto Rico had heard about it because of the protests to take the military out of the island, because it'd been there for so long. It was wreaking so much havoc, and everybody was asking, why aren't they gone?
What are they doing?
And so
yes,
it's been a part of our political and cultural reality forever, really.
And so for when you were writing, is it Noelia? I don't want to say it incorrectly.
Yeah.
Noelia.
Writing this character, were you thinking about the way that would have like impacted her life? She seemed a little frustrated to have to keep hearing about it. You know that mom is still going out doing this. So how did that play for you when you were envisioning the character initially?
Yeah, it's part of the unfinished, unattended business for the character, like to go back, check out on her mom, and keep having the conversation of the work her mom is doing. Like, she's against that, but it's another way of going back and trying to take care of her. Even though she's super sick, she still go back and try to reconnect, and she is worried about her mom that's going to do this cleaning and risking her own life. So it's a way also to present sickness, and her mom is also exposed to it. So it's a duality over there, like mom and a daughter. I mean, her mom is healthy, but she can be sick also, and that's in the surface and under there also.
Yes, very much so. And the idea that she's asking, when's your next test? Is this a common thing for people
yes.
to test regularly?
Yes, the people that work on this cleaning need to get regular blood tests because of the risk they are going through by being exposed to those materials.
There's radioactivity, there's like Agent Orange in the ground, there's like all sorts of things that haven't been cleaned, that are there, that are in the ground, in the water. It's no secret to any of us that the incidence of cancer in people from Vieques is extremely high.
Yes, I was looking
extremely
at
high.
The numbers are not so far off from the United States. It's such a small place for the percentage to be so high, and just mind-blowing, just absolutely. So let me ask, I already asked that one. Moving away from this particularly sad part of the film, you actually did, I can't yet, because you did go into the water there, didn't you?
Well, we took care of Itzel, and we took her to a control area in a municipality town that is called Aguadilla, and she dived in there close to the shore, and we had a second unit that went underwater on real location, and we worked there with a stunt that is familiar with the area, so we didn't want to put her in that risky situation because it's very far from the shore. And she took a small class to learn how to dive in an hour or less. So that was enough for her. Like, she worked amazingly.
I was so nervous. I was dying inside. I was like...
The one thing that you've really created is that there's so much concern for this person. From the very first moment that you see her laying in the tub, it's like, oh my gosh, we know she's not going to be okay, but then everything that happens just makes you even more worried for her. You see mom doing this stuff. She goes into the water to challenge herself,
and also I think also in that moment, she's like, well, I have nothing to lose. I might as well go see it because I've been meaning to see this my whole life. I want to go. I want to see it. I mean, she's also trying to do all these things. There's a moment that I think in life that you don't have enough time, and you're like, okay, so this is it. I'm just going to do it. And she loses a little bit of the fear of a lot of other things.
Very brave as a character, it feels like, for her to, I'm done with the treatment. It was the most painful thing. I'm not doing it again. Just very bold and easy to love, I would say. And very easy to love. You did a beautiful job.
Wow, thank you.
Really.
Yeah, she did.
Hard.
Amazing.
That was very hard.
I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure. Very difficult. Did you have to do a lot of research about cancer and try to physicalize this pain?
Yeah. As I would ask her a lot because the story is close to her personal story also. Can I say it?
Yeah.
With her mom. So that I would ask her, like, how is it hurting? How is this feeling? And where does she feel it? Like, I want to know, because I felt pain before, but I want to know what kind of pain this is. And she was really good at describing it, so I could get a sense of you know, because you don't experience every pain the same way. So I really wanted to get a sense, and I don't know if I did that or not, but I was trying to get a sense of what she was actually feeling during that whole time.
The performance was effective for sure. So feel confident that you're going to theater tomorrow and everybody's going to just weep over what well you acted. I didn't actually know that about you being your mother.
Yes, when I wrote the screenplay in 2013, my mother died on May of that year, and I decided to write a screenplay in October because I wanted to work in a long format for a feature length, but it was a way for me to work with the disease that she had, but in a different point of view because I didn't want it to work in a biographic way. And that's why I developed another kind of character having the same disease. But it was a way also to, you know, to focus on something that was going to take me a lot of time and concentration in order to process the grief and the loss, you know, of my mom.
Yeah. It's wonderful how art does that, right? The catharsis of putting it down.
Yeah.
Yes, and being able to separate yourself, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We could all feel that energy on set the whole time. And we, all of us knew that it was based on that, and we knew the story. So I think that energy, you know, got us through a lot of the process, which I think was a tough movie to film in many ways, but incredibly fulfilling as well, and sort of cathartic.
Yeah, they were all going to support in you through this process, right? That's
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
It's a beautiful way to make a movie.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing something so personal, really. So I guess I did ask, you didn't know how to scuba dive. That's wild. You just learned it and went in with all of your bravery.
Oh
just
my
like
God,
your
I was
character,
so
losing
freaked
that
out.
fear.
In a super short workshop.
It's very short.
So we've got some of these. I did have a question for you. You're a photographer as well.
Yes.
How does it feel when you are working with a DP? You know, to give some of that up to them, or are you I want to be in charge of the framing and the way everything...
Oh, no. In this case, I rely absolutely on my superstar director of photography, who is PJ Lopez. It's a very... this is my first feature film, but he has so much experience that I wanted to focus on Isel and the other cast members and, you know, working on the proposal for the shooting and the work plan. And yeah, I will provide my point of view, but I totally trust him. And, you know, I just let that for him. That's his, you know, he's an expert on image and movement. So, yeah, like I can let that go for a set because just to focus as a director, so many things are happening on set. So it was really good to me to have an DP with that amount of experience because we could achieve our itinerary. We were able to cover everything in terms of the intimacy that we wanted to work with. Yeah, I mean...
You know, between all of us, because I also know him. I've worked with him before as well, and I think all of us trust each other, and we knew he was going to take care of me,
yeah, and he did.
Yeah. And
there's so much vulnerability there. Yeah, I mean, you're very exposed as
extremely
emotionally,
yes.
and you're also in the same position that it being such a personal story. So, man, you pulled it off. That's wonderful. So. I guess how far, as far as the edit goes, were you sitting in the presence of the editor the entire time, or did they create a rough cut and you gave notes?
Yes, the post-production was in Spain, and after we shoot, I went to Spain, and the editor was he showed me a first and rough cut, which is, you know, having a cut going like the screenplay and just the first version, which is always a long one. And then he had another project that he had to attend because I had COVID and the editing was pushed a little bit. So another editor that was next to him from the beginning grabbed the project, and we sat down together. That's Clara Martinez Malagelada. And I was in the process the whole time. Sometimes I will give her time to work on some details, but I was providing input during the whole process. But it was like, we had the second cut, let's watch it, I'm doing notes, and then let's do a presentation for the producers and having notes from them. Then we presented to another group of people. It was a very organic process and very productive one. Yes.
You worked with the editor that you initially hired, and then they were replaced by this person. You've never worked with either of them?
No, first time.
Wow.
And it was completely in Spain, which was like a very concentrated process, a lot of concentration during that stage. Luckily, I had that opportunity to be able to focus on that.
Yeah, I just can't imagine stepping too far away from it. Once it's done, it's like, okay, now we're gonna put all the pieces together, right? Especially your composer as well. Have you worked with them previously, or is your music supervisor, your composer, were they new to you?
Oh, yeah, Sergio de la Puente, also from Spain. I didn't know him. He made a beautiful proposal, and we were working towards, at the beginning, I wasn't sure in terms of adding a score because I wanted to work more on a diegetic form, like the ambient music, but then you have to pay rights for everything that is on screen. So it's like, we have a karaoke already and another karaoke, so let's work with on original score. And he had a studio in Spain as well, and we also have concentration to work on different proposals in terms of, just to find out how are we going to add this narrative in terms of the sound design of the piece. Also, it was a very also concentration. Like all the post-production was very, like having the time, many options, like different kind of proposals and trying things until we found the sound, the music and the sound of the piece.
And the sound design is absolutely wonderful as well. Every time you hear that back, it's heartbreaking because you're just walking around with this attachment. So did you have any struggles with that while you in costuming and having to wear? I mean, because it's on you most of the time, right?
Every
All
day.
the time. Every day.
Wow.
Every day.
Did they have to? How did they apply that?
It's for real, like you do for real, like with the whole skin. It's like a glue. Mm-hmm. I remember in one of the shots that they were cleaning me, and I'm supposed to be hurting. I was actually burning and hurting because of every day you take it off and on and off. And there were days that I was like, I gotta go, I'm in a hurry. And you're supposed to like just go slow. And I'm like, I gotta go. And by there was one day I was like I was actually hurting that day. I was like, wow, this is the thing. This is the thing.
Very raw.
And we had
Amarilis,
who was also telling me a little bit about how it feels to put it on and off because she has a colostomy bag. Mm-hmm. And she came in and we talked and she would explain to me everything that she went through in her process. Also, that was helpful in learning how she was feeling when she started her sickness. Mm-hmm. And so we talked about it a lot, and she showed me, we did it together. It's like, so it was a very careful process of trying to be true to how a person that lives with that lives.
Yes, and I've noticed, I got to watch another of your short films, The Biopsy.
Uh-huh.
You are very invested, it seems, in that tactile experience of what this is like. Mm-hmm. Is that always been the way that you work? Or is this like specific now you're getting to do this kind of, it's like dark and hard, And
Yeah, well, that's my first short film. It's part of the research of La Pecera of the Fishbowl biopsy because it's developed also in Vieques. Yes, I like intimacy and I like, to show the closeness of this situation and, sickness, we always try to hide it, and I wanted to show it. Let's see how this looks because, it's part of the sensibility and to develop, in terms of bonding with these people. Like, why we have to hide sickness? Like, no, sickness is part of life. So we have to see it. By seeing it, we can get connected to these people.
Rather than separating them and making them feel
Exactly.
like they're on their own. Yes. Which is beautiful because no one in the film reacts. I mean, everybody would really just like her to live, is ultimately what we're getting from it. But they're just so kind and taking care of her. And you would hope that you would have people like that in your life if that was your situation.
Yeah.
Right down to the last bit, getting back into that final shot that I'm not going to say out
And
loud.
no one, and I don't think I don't think anybody likes to feel like they're a burden.
Right.
Yeah.
Like when they're that sick, usually they're like, like you don't want to bother people with that because you know how hard it is to take care of someone that's sick. Because it's hard, it's difficult, it's heavy. So no one that's sick wants to be that for anybody else. And I don't think Noelia wanted to be that for anybody either. But I mean, there's also a moment of just releasing also and say, okay, take care of me. All right, I can't do anything about this. I need people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There was something else that's evaded me now. That was a good one too. You'd worked with the mom before, correct?
I'm sorry?
Had you ever cast the woman who played the mother previously?
Magali?
Yeah.
If I cast her for...
If you worked with her.
Oh, no. She was brought into my attention. I mean, I know Magali, I admire her, but it was the casting director who mentioned her as a candidate, let's do a casting to Magali. Of course, Magali, yeah. She did an amazing casting, and she's an amazing actress. And she's
really
an amazing human being.
Yeah.
Like, being next to her is like this full of energy, and she's super joyful
And happy and light and beautiful and
I mean,
really
she's
good.
such a beautiful light, yes. And I never worked with her before, but she is amazing, and she really connects with Isel.
Yeah.
Like, they two are very, very well connected.
I know her because she's the mom of one of my colleagues that works in my theater company. So I've known her forever, and we've always talked about I want to work with you someday, because I've seen her since I was little, in television and in theater, and I had always admired her since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And so being able to work with her was like, okay, and she loves me, and I love her, even before this. So it was really nice.
I think that was one of the most moving parts of it is the mother-daughter relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Going back home to take care of mom, being worried about mom, and just the obvious love. So it's nice to know that you have that possibly off-screen.
Yeah, it exists.
It's wonderful.
Yep.
It was very, very effective. Just also a difficult position for a mom to be in, right? And then the idea that you would send her away. Did you have any of those kind of struggles with your mom in the same way that mom is struggling with daughter here? Were you, trying to get your mom to take treatment and trying to...
Oh my God, yes. I'm like Jorge. Really? Like, I was very, when you are taking care of someone, you want to tell them what to do, and you don't necessarily listen to them. I made that mistake as a daughter. Like, I want to, no, Mom, you have to do this and you have to do that. And it's like, no, I don't want to. Like the character. So for me, Jorge is kind of me showing it. Like, I mean, I put it in a couple, like a partner, because I didn't want to work in a biographic point of view. But yes, it's like I was pushing her too much, because you have to do another treatment. And it's like, no, I don't want to. It was very important to me also to show the fact that people that are in that situation have rights to do whatever they want, and they have the right to have dignity and being able to decide by themselves.
Yeah, autonomy.
We don't have to tell them what to do. I learned that with with the sickness of my mom. But yes, I definitely was the pushy one. Thank you.
Dale.
But I also wanted to talk about that because it's really important that people really take care of the family members that are going through that in terms of respect their desire. These people have rights and they have desire. So why not listen to them and pay attention to that? That's what really matters. It's not following any rules of treatment, it's what they want. Yeah.
And the idea that the line I think that really got me was it's the most painful thing I've ever experienced was going through treatment. And that's why I'm not going back. And just it's so final, it feels like she's really done with it.
Yeah, I thought about that with the line because to me, my initial reaction would also be, no, just fight till the end, like go to the end, do it, go wherever. And to me, trying to understand why Noelia doesn't want to do it was really digging deep and trying to figure out at what moment did she decide that if this would happen again, she wouldn't do it. And I thought, while she was probably going through treatment,
Of course, yeah.
she decided, okay, I can't do this. This is really hard, and I don't think I can do this again. And when it came back again, she was like, I can't. I also had a friend a long time ago who died of cancer. He was 30 years old.
Wow.
And I remember all of us also being, do it.
Keep fighting.
Keep doing it. Weren't you going to do like a transplant? Like, weren't you going to do the thing? You were going to do the thing. He's like, nah. And we were like, you got to do the thing. And he was like, nah. And we just didn't understand. And we were like, why? He's like, I've been going through this for a year. And I'm done. And we just weren't accepting that. And it was so difficult. And he had already made the decision. There was something in him that was done, It was a final decision for him. And we just could not understand it. And I think it happens a lot. Like, when you're not going through it, it's like, how do you even understand what that person's... It's their life. It's their body. Like,
We don't all think the same.
no.
Yeah, she's just trying to enjoy what's left.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
From the very first moment in the tub, you get that overhead shot, and then we cut to those tights of the stuff coming out. I don't know, what would you call it? Body fluid?
Yeah.
Coming
Yeah.
out. And I've found myself like just grasping my head in concern immediately from the very first point of the film, which must be the way that everybody else feels about her. But she knows that this has been going on and has been going on for months at this point. Just so I'm sure, is it cervical cancer? Is that what kind of cancer?
Colon cancer.
Colon cancer. Okay.
I also spoke to another friend of mine, Julia Michel, who works in film. And she has been through that. And I also called her and spoke to her a lot. And I was trying to also understand what kind of situation, what kind of pain, how did she know she had it? Like, she is in remission now. So it was a different story. But like she also had a colostomy bag for a really long time, and I also tried to know, like, how does that feel? How does she? And it was very revealing also. And I didn't even know that, because you see people with a colostomy bag, you don't know that they have it. If they don't tell you, and if you don't see it, no one knows. Mm-hmm. So someone's going through something, and you just have no idea. No idea.
Yeah. And then there's the scarring on your stomach as well from surgery. Yeah, there's in the SFX makeup was beautifully done. Whoever did that was excellent at their job, obviously. And then there's the very intimate moment of him. What is his name? is there a gentleman in the movie, but she's not Jorge, but
Junie,
Modesto
Modesto
Lacen.
Lacen.
is he, the intimacy in that conversation that you're having when you're in the bed and then he's kissing your scars, you know, just the idea that somebody would find you beautiful despite
I
this
know.
difficulty. Yeah, just very inspiring throughout. Very,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Is there anything that you would like to say specifically about the film? Something that we didn't talk about that you want to get out?
Well, I'm extremely grateful for being at Sundance and having Isel here. We have a delegation of 30 people from Spain and Puerto Rico. So it's just thank you for the support, for the interest in our film. It's like, thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think you're right where you should be, personally.
Yeah.
So,
Thank
I
you
wish
so
all the
much.
luck.
I'm
Yeah.
excited for other people to see the story because it's so hard. You know, whenever you get to hear other people that don't know anything about Puerto Rico or anything about who we are, to be able to see us and sense some sort of love for us, I'm like, it's nice, you know, because that's what you want art to do, like make you love each other and better and know each other. So I think that's nice.
Yes, and having the premiere in a U.S. film festival, it's really important and relevant to talk about Puerto Rico in this country, you know, in the United States. Like, it's important to see Puerto Rico and to see the consequences of the relationship between Puerto Rico and the U.S. So it's a key point to be here too, in terms of the audience, you know, to see this and to learn about Vieques, because it's not a common topic to talk about Vieques and war pollution. You know, I say war because it's like a war, military practices, you know, but it's important to talk about military pollution and the results of it.
But just seeing all of this stuff left on the sea floor, you know, them going into that actual...
And everywhere.
Yes.
Because if you go to Vieques, it's still there. Like,
Really?
yep.
Yeah, you'll
There's
see.
like plants growing over, ¿cómo se llama? The machines that have the thing.
The tanks?
Tanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's tanks embedded in the sand, and there's
Yeah.
just the nature's growing over it.
Oh my gosh. Trying to take it back.
Yep.
And you can see a sign that says, if you find a bomb, call this number to apply a protocol. So be careful, you can hit a bomb, you know, basically. You go into the water, you can find a bomb anywhere, you know. It's a situation of public health.
And accountability
Yes.
as well. Because, like, okay,
And I looked
come
up earlier.
come back here, clean up.
Clean up.
You can't just leave your garbage here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw...
I can't go anywhere and just leave my stuff.
Yeah, if I park my car in the wrong place, my perfectly well-running car somewhere, I get a ticket. What's
Yes.
going on with this?
Yeah.
I did notice in an article that I was reading before that they said that the cleanup would have been delayed 10 years. And that was from 2021, that they were expecting for those certain beaches to not be opened up for another decade.
Yeah, in the film, the mom says it's gonna finish around the 2035, and that's the date that, you know, if you ask people from Vieques, they'll say that, like 2035. But I mean, we are in 2022 and nothing is happening, and that will take time because it's a lot of pollution. So we don't know if that's gonna really happen by then. You know? Yeah.
Thank you for bringing it to people's attention and putting it out there, and such an intimate story as well. And the fact that the chances are the reason she's in this situation is because of
Very
this.
much.
This is a cause and effect.
Oh, and she knows it. Yeah. Yeah.
Another reason to be mad about it.
Oh, yeah.
For the characters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. It was really a pleasure to speak
Oh,
to you.
thank you.
Really.
Thank
very
you
much
for
so.
your time and your interest in our film.
Oh, I'm going to be talking about it a lot. A lot.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.